with a cracker.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the United Star. Today, we've got Vishesh here again with us to do another special transfers episode. And today, we're going to rate Manchester United's record breaking signings since Jadon Sancho is about to break the record if it actually ever happens. So, we're going to do one of those videos. And the first one, Vishesh, was Dennis Law. He broke the record in 1962 for a mere £115,000, which is less than Jesse Lingard's weekly salary. But what do you think?
I mean, we all know, right? Law was named as the winner of the Ballon d'Or in 1964, and he scored 237 times in the 404 appearances he made for United. So he was one of the players that, in fact, Rooney had to surpass when he was trying to get the highest number of goals at United. So he's achieved a lot at Old Trafford. He's won 2 league titles and an FA Cup. He's been spectacular. If I had to rate him, I would give him a 10 out of 10. He's definitely a legend and the right man to break the transfer window for. He's joined the Holy Trinity along with Bobby Charlton and George Best. So I mean, there's nothing much to say about such an elite footballer, and his CV is as long as it can be.
Absolutely. And I mean, not everyone gets a statue outside of Old Trafford. And of course, he has one. So, incredible player. After that, there was Brian Robson, who broke the record in 1982 for £1.5 million. Again, all these numbers seem so trivial looking back. But how would you rate Brian Robson?
Brian Robson was interesting. Was an interesting one. He came from West Brom Albion, right, for a 1.5 million pound move, as you mentioned. But he really proved himself to be a very influential player in the midfield that we had. His tenacity and full-blooded commitment was something that was really looked forward to by the fans. And he earned the name of Captain Marvel for his Roy of the Rover style in driving the side forward. So he's definitely, and again, I don't see a lot of times where we've broken the transfer record in our early history and not done well with it. So I would give him a 10 on 10 as well.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, for sure, because he's one of the most important figureheads in Manchester United's history, Brian Robson, and a lot of players talk about him with great fondness. Moving on, the next time we broke the record was almost 10 years after 1993 for another man who went on to be captain and whom we absolutely remember for all the tenacity he brought to the team, which was Roy Keane. And we bought him for a mere £3.75 million. Again, at that time, that was huge money. So what do you have to say about Roy Keane?
Honestly, I don't know. I'm just so used to seeing him in the Star Sports studio and him telling De Gea and Maguire to get off the bus and not get on, that I just forget that he's someone that we've broken the record for. I mean, he was bought because of our previous world time record holders' injury problems and decline in form. So he was brought in because of that, and he had such a big impact. I mean, if we have a Roy Keane in our side right now, the likes of Lingard, Pereira, they'll be scared to be dancing on social media. He's outright the one that's passionate about the sport and will go to any length. We've seen the tunnel video where he fights against the Arsenal players. We've seen him comment that, if you lose a game to Liverpool, you don't hug the players after that, which shows how much the badge meant for him. I mean, things did get sour towards the end between Roy Keane and Sir Alex Ferguson, but his time at United is something that I would say he's one of the best leaders when it comes to the Premier League, and I cannot not give him a 10 on 10 as well. I know it seems really monotonous that I've given everyone a 10 on 10, but our signings have been spectacular for that period.
But absolutely, Vishesh, but you're also giving 10 on 10 to players who would absolutely be in, say, maybe the top 10 players to have ever played for the club. The likes of Robson, the likes of Law, and definitely Roy Keane. Lest we forget that he was the treble winning player as well. He guided us to so many important victories and he stood up to that invincible Arsenal. So he definitely does deserve a 10 in my view as well. The next player we broke the transfer record for was just 3 years later for Andy Cole in the 1995 season for 7 million. Another treble winner. How would you rate him?
Andy Cole came on the scene really well with the way he came up with Newcastle and won the division's golden boot for the newly promoted side. And he did not take that much time to, adjust to United. He had 12 goals in just 18 appearances. And it was a really good partnership that, Dwight York and Andy Cole had. It's said right now also, we keep comparing, oh, okay, Martial and Rashford are reaching those heights. But it's very hard to, copy or even reach that kind of bond that these two strikers had. So I would probably not give him a 10 on 10 because, I've given legends and people who have statues outside Old Trafford a 10 on 10. I'd probably give him something around the 7 or 8 on 10.
I think 7 is a bit harsh, man. He won the treble after all. Let's settle on an 8 for Andy Cole.
Okay, let's settle on an 8. I won't argue.
Yeah, yeah. So Andy Cole. And the next time we broke the record was in 2001 for another striker, for Mr. Champions League himself, Ruud van Nistelrooy. 19 million pounds for a absolutely gun player in Ruud.
I completely agree. I mean, the first thing when I think of Ruud van Nistelrooy, I mean, I didn't see him play that much as a United fan. It was way before our era. But the video that I remember seeing is the one against Arsenal, where he misses that penalty. And then in another game, he scores the penalty, and the full antic that goes on of him running around and, people coming in his face. But he was a ruthless goal scorer. He was the typical penalty box poacher that Ole asks for Martial and Rashford today. And, again, he's another player that things went sour with Sir Alex Ferguson and he ended up leaving. But if he would have stayed, I mean, he had 150 goals in 219 appearances, Prashant. I mean, if he would have stayed, he could have easily taken over as United's highest goal scorer. I have no doubt about that. He was spectacular when it came up front. And I mean, he's won the Golden Boot. He's won the PFA Players Year of the Season in his debut season. He's won multiple league titles and, the FA Cup and League Cup before heading to Real Madrid. So I think he was fantastic. But just because of that fight with Sir Alex Ferguson, I'm going to give him a 9 and not put him in the category with Dennis Law.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Vishesh. But I think we sold him at the right point because he was almost like he was becoming bigger than the club. He wanted everything to go through him, and rather than the team. And so Alex, obviously, he knew better because he always wanted the team to be at the center and he couldn't stand the player being at the center of things. So, well, but the fact that he was so loved at Old Trafford that when Sir Alex sold him, there were actually chants of him and there were actually a few banners raised that they wanted Sir Alex out. So that shows that how much impact Ruud had at Manchester United within just 5 seasons. So yeah, another great player and a great signing. The next player is actually the same season, 2001. After Van Nistelrooy, we signed a certain Juan Sebastian Veron for 28.1 million. A very talented player who never made it at Man United. How do you rate him?
I don't rate him highly. I mean, he didn't achieve much. He left for Chelsea 2 seasons later, and we didn't even recoup the money, right? He went for 15 million. So he just made a mere 7 league appearances before then heading back to Italy with Inter Milan. So I think it would probably be on the lower end. This is one of those signings that didn't work out at Manchester United. So I'd give him a 4 on 10, yeah.
Absolutely, I agree with you. I mean, he never was able to do justice to the talent he had in the Premier League. Moving on to another man whom we see in the studios nowadays. In 2002, we broke the bank again and we got Rio Ferdinand for 30 million pounds, the most expensive defender. Even today, he's in the top 10 most expensive defenders twice. So, what do you have to say about the Warrior?
I don't know, man. What do you want to say? There's not much to talk about such a player. Vidic, Ferdinand, that combination, spectacular. We bought him for 30 million. What do you think his price would be right now if I had to ask you that? I mean, it's insanity, right? I mean, we're paying 80 million for Maguire. I'd pay 80 million for Ferdinand, the prime Ferdinand right now without even thinking. So Ferdinand was a top class player who played for the badge. And let's remember, he came from Leeds, right? He was a Leeds player. So that rivalry with Leeds, I'm pretty sure that Leeds fans are bitter about that thing till date. So Ferdinand came in from there. He won over the United fans. I still remember, if I have to think of Ferdinand, I think of the game against City where he goes celebrating and someone chucks something on his face and he still shows that passion that this is United, and he mentions that the blood is red. And
It is
United's
inevitable.
colours red.
Bleeding was inevitable to show that Manchester and blood both are red. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
exactly. So the man, and he's one of those pundits that hasn't even, gone sour on Manchester United. You look at the likes of Paul Scholes, Owen Hargreaves, they're all like, okay, under LVG, they were bad, they were this, they were that. Ferdinand has always, given United that second chance. And you see how much he loves United. He's the Igalo. If he had to come back today and play, we would just be like, this guy's a true fan and we want him to play for our club. I'd give him a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 for
Absolutely.
sure.
Absolutely. 6 Premier Leagues, a Champions League. You said Vidic and Ferdinand. It's almost like the Dwight and Cole of defense.
Yeah.
Also, guys, if y'all haven't check out the video we did in covering Ferdinand in our series of legends, and our rivalry video on Leeds as to how bitter they are with Manchester United. Both the links are in the description. But moving on from Ferdinand to a man who showed absolutely no passion for our club in 2014, which was about 12 years after we got Ferdinand. And it also showed the seismic shift in what players we used to sign then and what players we start signing now, is Di Maria for 59.7 million.
Okay, so I'm going to be honest. I was really excited when we signed Di Maria from Madrid, and I was exceptionally happy with the way he played in the Leicester game. But I think somewhere after that full, robber broke into his house and him not adjusting and his wife having issues, I think it was just downhill from there. He didn't want to play for the club. I don't know what goes on, but now I hear stuff like when he's at PSG and he's and the players are watching a Manchester United game, he just hates it so much that he turns it off. We saw his antiques at Old Trafford with the I don't know whether that was a beer bottle or what that was, but if you have been at a club, at least respect it. Don't disrespect it in a manner that you're humiliating yourself, because at the end of the day we knocked him out eventually. So I think he's the biggest snake that ever exists. My love for him has reduced significantly since he left a year later, and I would probably give him if there's negative marking, that, or maybe for that Leicester game, a 1 out of 10. But yeah, I mean, he's the most irrelevant person to break the record for us.
Absolutely. Just disgraceful. Nothing more to say. Finally, the last time we broke the record in 2016, hopefully soon we'll be breaking it again. But 2016 is when we signed or re-signed Paul Pogba for 89 million pounds from Juventus. Of course, he's yet playing. He's not done. And hopefully there's a lot more to come from him. But how do you rate him till now?
I think the jury's out on that, Prasham. I mean, if you look at it, he came in with Jose Mourinho, had a spectacular first season, where they won the Europa League, they won the Cup. It was wonderful. And then I don't know where they slipped. I think the second season also things were good when we came second. It hadn't become as sour as things got before the preseason of the third season. I mean, the disrespect he started showing, Raiola coming out and saying, he deserves better treatment, his brother saying he wants to leave. So he's a great player, no doubt. And if you remove him from this United squad, it's a big role to fill in, or big shoes to fill in with. But I think he's been all right. I would probably give him a 5 or 6 out of 10 right now, but the jury is out, because since Ole's come in, he has been putting good performances. So
Right.
definitely a 5 or a 6. Hopefully, if we do a future video, it's a higher number by then.
Right. I think Vishesh, you've been quite honest about Pogba's review. I think he has had some moments. I mean, that Manchester City game where he stopped City from winning the league at Old Trafford, winning the league against us rather, that would have been absolutely disastrous. So I think he has had his moments, and obviously he's a great player. It's just about whether he can string it in consistently. So guys, you've heard Vishesh rate our record-breaking signings. Do let us know what y'all think in the comments. Subscribe to the channel and like the video. We'll see you all soon.